beings, it is to be understood that in his previous lives he performed all types of renunciation, austerities, and sacrifice, and studied all the Brahma Sutras. The purport of the second verse is that one who chants the two syllables Hari must be considered to have studied all the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda. On the other hand, there are many so-called devotees who think the Vedanta is not meant for devotees. Such people are ignorant of the fact that the Vedanta is the only platform of pure devotees. The great acharyas of all four Vaishnava sampradayas have made commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, but the so-called devotees known as Prakrita Sahajas carefully avoid the study of the Vedanta Sutra. The Prakrita Sahajas mistakenly think the pure devotees and Vaishnava acharyas are to be mental speculators or fruitive actors. Consequently, they themselves become Mayavadis and leave the service of the Supreme Lord. Now, Mayavadi is a person who thinks he knows everything and doesn't need a guru, and he just speculates and considers his speculations as being some kind of knowledge. But any speculation is not really knowledge. It's simply the phantasmagoria of their brain coming up with different types of meanings and philosophies and so forth. The whole purpose of Krishna consciousness is to, number one, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra will immediately put you in direct surrender to Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because you're chanting his names. And you're glorifying him by chanting his names. Therefore, he takes a special interest in you. And he'll help you in every way possible to lead you on the right path of Krishna consciousness. So therefore it says, even if one is born in the family of the lowest of human beings, it is to be understood that in his previous lives, he performed all types of renunciation, austerities, and sacrifice, and studied all the Brahma Sutras. The purport of the second verse is that one who chants the two syllables, Hari, must be considered to have studied all the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda. So in other words, anyone who says Hare Krishna or Hari, they've already been educated in a previous life. And in this life, they take up where they left off in their previous life. That's why sometimes we see children that are born, and quickly they take to chanting and dancing. Even a little child might be 2 years old, but you see them chanting and dancing, right? That means they were very spiritually advanced in their previous life, but for some reason or another they had to take another birth. But they're continuing from the point they left off. Right? And adults who at one point come in contact with Krishna consciousness, but right away they're attracted to it. They're attracted to the chanting, they're attracted to the prasadam, they're attracted to the sangha with other devotees. That means that they were devotees already in the previous life, but they might have made some mistakes, or they did not finish their spiritual consciousness, and so they're picking it up again right away. And I've seen that. I've seen that when somebody comes to the temple and right away they're very, very attracted to everything we're doing in the temple. That means in their previous life they were already Krishna consciousness, but for some reason or other they left off, and now they're picking it up again in this life to finish their perfection. So here it says, there are many so-called devotees who think the Vedanta is not meant for devotees. Such people are ignorant of the fact that the Vedanta is the only platform for pure devotees. The great acharyas of all four Vaishnava sampradayas have made commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, but the so-called devotees known as Prakrita Sahajas carefully avoid the study of the Vedanta Sutra. The Prakrita Sahajas mistakenly take the pure devotees and Vaishnava acharyas to be mental speculators or fruitive actors. Consequently, they themselves become Mayavadis and leave the service of the Supreme Lord. So Mayavadi means, Maya means illusion, and Vadi means someone who is under the influence of illusion. So there are so many people like that in the world today. They are an illusion. They speculate. They even start movements and get followers, or they get elected in the big, positions in the world, and it goes to their head. However, here it says that even accepting the Vedanta Sutra by academic knowledge never enables one to understand the value of the transcendental vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. People who are entangled in academic knowledge are conditioned souls who are confused about the facts of I and mine, understanding. Consequently, they are unable to detach their minds from the external energy. When a person actually attains transcendental knowledge, he becomes free from this duality and engages in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. The Lord's service is the only means by which one can become detached from material activities. A person properly initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and engaged in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, gradually becomes freed from the conception of I and mine and becomes attached to the Lord's transcendental loving service in one of the 5 transcendental relationships. Such transcendental service is not a subject matter for gross and subtle bodies. 1 second. Only when one can understand that there is no difference between the Supreme and His name can one be situated in Krishna consciousness. In other words, there's no difference between Krishna and His name. The name of Krishna is non-different than Krishna, whereas the name Coca-Cola is different than Coca-Cola, right? You don't get the taste of Coca-Cola just by saying the name. But in Krishna consciousness, when you say the name of Krishna, you are directly connected to Krishna. Whereas if you say Coca-Cola, 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 you'll never get the taste of Coca-Cola. There was this one man, he was a very crazy guy. He came here one day, and he said, you guys are always chanting Hare Krishna, but for me, there's no difference between chanting Hare Krishna or chanting Coca-Cola. The main thing is that breathing. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, like that, you know. There's so many crazy people in the world. So, no, Coca-Cola does not make you Krishna conscious. But chanting Hare Krishna helps you to become Krishna conscious. So then Lord Chaitanya explained to Praksanda Saraswati and told him that he had heard all this, meaning all the teachings of Vedanta, from his spiritual master. Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan Ki Jai. So, in other words, a student's perfection is to understand the identity of the holy name and the spiritual and the Supreme Lord. Unless one is under the shelter of a realized spiritual master, his understanding of the Supreme is simply foolish. However, one can fully understand the Transcendental Lord by service and devotion. That is our takeaway tonight. We can understand by service and devotion, not by speculation. So please, take up some service. Just coming to the temple is already service, right? Bowing down before the deities is also service. And there's many other services you can perform in the temple. So therefore, as it says here, one becomes more interested in petitioning the Lord by saying, Hare Krishna, O my Lord, O energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. That should be our prayer before we go to sleep at night. My dear Krishna, O Lord, O energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, please engage me in your service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Gaur Premanandi Haribol. Are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Any questions? Before that, let's see. Feast sponsors. Did I read this already? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, are there any questions or comments anyone would like to make? Any questions or comments? Anybody? Don't be afraid. Any questions or comments? Yes. It's a good question. All the names of Krishna have the same potency. Just like you have Krishna, you have Rama, etc., right? But the Hare Krishna mantra, in which you say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You have Krishna and Rama in that mantra. So that's the gold standard, let's put it like that. If you simply use this one mantra, you don't have to chant any other mantra. This mantra is the summum bonum of perfection of addressing the Lord with love and devotion. So if you just chant Hare Krishna every day, you will go back to the spiritual world because you'll be associating with Krishna and Rama, right? Sometimes people say, oh, you guys only talk about Krishna, you never talk about Rama. I said, are you crazy? So what do you mean? I said, look, every day we're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So how can you say we don't think of Lord Rama? We don't teach anything about Lord Rama. That's nonsense. We chant the name of Rama just as much as we chant the name of Krishna. So people get surprised because they think we only talk about Krishna. But no, the Maha Mantra that we chant every day has Krishna and Rama as much as each name. So we don't leave Rama out. We love Lord Ramachandra and we love Krishna. Although they're the same person. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, then I will just say a few more words and then we'll stop. A student's perfection is to understand the identity of the holy name and the Supreme Lord. Unless one is under the shelter of a realized spiritual master, his understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is simply foolishness. However, one can fully understand the Transcendental Lord by service and devotion. Now, see, that's a very important statement. One can fully understand the Transcendental Lord by service and devotion. So we should be engaged in the service of Krishna, just like there's so many services that are needed in the temple, right? Like after everyone goes, somebody has to clean these carpets. Someone has to clean the books that are on the ground in the book place, and someone has to help in the kitchen. Someone has to do this. Someone has to do that. So, therefore, by service and devotion, we make tangible spiritual advancement. So we should seek service in the temple. And we should also, by engaging in genuine service to please Krishna in the association of devotees, we begin to develop devotion and love for Krishna. When Lord Chaitanya offenselessly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, he declared that the offenseless chanting, he declared that the mantra could at once deliver a conditioned soul from material contamination. See, this is Lord Chaitanya's statement. He said, when Lord Chaitanya offenselessly chanted the Hare Krishna mantra, he declared that the mantra could at once deliver a conditioned soul from the material contamination. In this age of Kali, there is no alternative to chanting this Mahamantra. It is stated that the essence of all Vedic literature is the chanting of this holy name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya also told Prakasananda Saraswati, in order to convince me about the essential fact of Vedic knowledge, my spiritual master has taught me a verse from the Brihad Naradiya Purana. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you see how important the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is. And also, being in the association of devotees who are always chanting the holy names of the Lord, speaking about the Lord, giving lectures about the Lord, and having nice Krishna prasadam made by genuine devotees in a temple. So therefore it says here, my spiritual master, it says here, has taught me a verse from the Brihad Naradiya Purana. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, 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 gatiranyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Okay, so here we have two wonderful mantras. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, and Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, 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 gatiranyata. If you just chant these two mantras, you will be it's like bathing in the ocean and getting all dirt off your skin and your body. With these, this is like completely purifying your body and especially your mind, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Now you learned something today. You put these two mantras together, that is the gold standard in Krishna consciousness. Haribol. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. Jai Shri Krishna. You're going to India? Yeah. Say hello to all the Indians in India for me. Tell them, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. They're not chanting enough Hare Krishna in India. Thank you very much. Haribol. Have a safe trip. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we'll stop there unless anyone has an important question to ask. Yes.
You mentioned about two parts. One is service, continuing to do services. You explained many services that we do in temple and in festivals. And second part, you mentioned about devotion. A little bit more explanation on devotion.
You see, devotion is when you have understood the importance of Krishna consciousness. Then you realize that it's your duty to engage in devotional service. Why is it your duty? Because your whole life depends on Krishna. If you don't have any knowledge of Krishna, then you don't feel duty-bound to do anything spiritual, right? But if you understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that all of us have come from Krishna, we're all the children of Krishna, therefore we have a responsibility to serve Krishna. See? If you don't have that knowledge, then in ignorance you ignore serving Krishna. But if you have the true knowledge that every one of us has come from Krishna, he's the original father of everyone, then it's our duty to serve him. It's very simple. It's ABC, right? But so many people don't understand this because they're watching television, eating meat, gambling, doing all nonsense things. You know. But when you become serious about spiritual life, you come to the temple, and one or two lectures, all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I should have come here way long ago. Everything they're saying is what I'm looking for. It's true. Everything we're saying is knowledge by which you can have a perfect spiritual life very easily. You don't have to go to India. You don't even have to have a guru, right? You just come and hear the lectures, and all of a sudden you become Krishnized. And eventually you will take initiation. Eventually you do all the things. But the main thing is associate with devotees, chant Hare Krishna, have nice prasadam, and hear lectures given by genuine devotees. You'll easily make spiritual progress and go back to Godhead. Easily. Yeah. You want to make it hard, then avoid all that, and just speculate. But speculation, you never come to a conclusion. Speculation means you don't know what you're talking about, so you can go back in circles all the time. You never really come to a conclusion. But when you surrender to Krishna and seriously engage in devotional service, then you understand. Then you become spiritually enlightened and invigorated, and you feel very, very happy that you came in touch with Krishna consciousness. Haribol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And this is a great book. It's called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's a fantastic book. You can get it. I think they have it in the library here. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Please chant Hare Krishna and be happy. All glories to Prabhupada.